And if you know anything about halftime speeches, they're kind of overblown anyway. We all think of the Newt Rockne and the big speeches. Well, there's only 12 minutes at halftime, and it takes 2 minutes to walk in and 2 minutes to walk out, so you're down to 8 already. Players have to go to the bathroom, so you're really down to about 6. They have to see the doctors, get their pads fixed and everything, so that takes another couple of minutes. So there's really 3 or 4 minutes to really get things done in there. Well, when things are going tough, everybody has a little something to say, and obviously down 15, we had a lot of people that had comments that day. So I still hadn't gotten to talk yet when the guy knocks on the door of the official and says, "You've got 1 minute left." So I said, wow, I got this big speech ready to give our guys, and we're down to a minute. We've got to be back on the field. Coach Caldwell's still talking, and Coach Moore, and we're kind of finishing up the offense, and the guys at the door shaking it and say, "Hey, you guys got to come. We got to get out there." So we had about 15 seconds, and I said, "You know what? If we don't start playing better fast, we're going to lose this game." And then we had to go out and play, and we had the biggest comeback in championship game history. So that's why the doctors felt I'd be qualified to give a speech and talk about comeback awards.
And I'm wearing a pin that I used to give out to all of my athletes that if they earned them, and my coaches would award these on a weekly basis, and the name of the pin was Personal Responsibility in Daily Effort, and it was PRIDE, Personal Responsibility in Daily Effort. And quite honestly, that's the secret to life in general, is personal responsibility. Regardless of what happens, we're not in control, God's in control, and just get up, carry on, do it better, learn from it. Life goes on, and you can't control what happens, but you can sure react and do the right thing when something bad happens.
You know, the coolest thing about ESPN, the people that you work with are so nice and so caring and so professional that over time it has kind of evolved into exactly what you see on the air. The earlier days, I was not there for, but I was there starting in year 12 of ESPN, and it turns 30 this September. And one of the things that is so true, that I think is a connecting thread through all of us in this room tonight, is that we love sports, and we care about sports. And the people in the newsroom who put SportsCenter on every night, and the people who travel and leave their families on, I think I worked last year, New Year's Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Christmas, Halloween, Election Day, every holiday you can imagine. But we all do it with a smile on our face, because we know that people sit home and get away from the real world by watching sports. And the connective thread with all of us is that we appreciate the people who are involved, and a lot of you are the people involved.
60 minutes, all you got, one play at a time, don't judge. Don't judge means don't look at the scoreboard. Don't judge means don't worry, okay, about what the doctor just told you. Don't worry about the condition. What's your position going to be? You've got meningitis. Okay. What's your vision? What's your position going to be? I know exactly what it was, because I see you in living color right now, here today, conquering it.
Tom Brady was a friend of mine. Tom Brady was a good friend of mine. As a matter of fact, we played golf together. Back in the 70s, we had what Tom Brady called as a grudge match. And we played it at Meridian Hills, and the four of us, every year we played, the same four guys, Jim Strickland, whose son became one of the great hand surgeons in the United States, Bill Unsworth, a big IU supporter, and Tom Brady, and myself. And Tom would be my partner. But the funny thing about Tom, when he would get on the green, he didn't want any distractions at all. So he would turn his hearing aid off. He'd turn it off and putt and then walk to the cart next tee. And I've been on the cart with him going down the fairway, and I'm talking to him and getting no response. Finally, I tapped him on the knee. And he looked at me and started laughing with that grin of his and said, "Oh," he said, "I forgot to turn my hearing aid on." He was a great guy, and nobody will ever know. The numbers will never be known. How many kids that needed surgery, that didn't have the money, that Tom Brady took care of.
Had a situation when we were playing Michigan State. And I had a young man by the name of Lance Malott, took a severe hit in the neck area and went down. They took him out of the game and brought him, of course, to the sideline and tended to him. Later in the game, I was a little surprised, but feel this nugging on the side of my arm, and it's Lance. He said, "Coach, I'd like to go back in." And of course, I wasn't about to put him back in until I turned and looked at the three people, Dr. McCarroll, Dr. Miller, Kip Smith. In unison, they all shook their head no. After the game, they took him to East Lansing, where we were playing Michigan State, to the hospital there. They x-rayed him and found that he had a vertebrae fracture, 1 and 2. Here's a situation that if a young man had gone back in, he could have very well been paralyzed or even lost his life. And I was so thankful that I was surrounded with those kind of people, and I fed off them. Because had he gone in, you don't know what could have happened. And so the play of our medical people today, and the great job that Methodist Sports Medicine is doing, is so important in our athletic field today.